Art galleries have convinced the entire world that $20 paint arranged on the canvas a certain way is worth hundreds of millions of dollars! Yay! It's all one big scam, and a good example of this is the Generous Gallery. Two brothers, let's call the gallery, they opened the Generous Gallery. So here's what they would do. When a couple or a single person would walk in the gallery, a bargain hunter, they hate bargain hunters, so here's what they would do. People would walk in, they would start asking questions about some painting on the wall, another painting on the wall, and one of the brothers would pretend that he couldn't hear that well, and the other brother would then come in and say, hey, my brother is a little bit deaf, so you have to speak really loud, and then things like that. Now, all of this is of course already a lie. This is a trap that is being set for this couple, and at a sudden moment in the rhetoric, so the deaf brother is talking with the couple, at a sudden moment, the good hearing brother would say, hey, I have to do some work, some administration in the back. If you need me, you can just scream. And I will be back 30 minutes, something like that. And then the deaf brother would talk with the people. Okay, the people would ask the price of particular artwork. And the deaf brother would not know the price. And so he screams to the back, hey, how much is it for this blue artwork? This blue artwork on the left. And then his brother would scream back, $50,000. And then the deaf brother would scream back, okay, $15,000? No, says the brother, $50,000. And then the deaf brother would go back to the couple and say, wow, this work is only $15,000. Now this couple is getting really excited. These are bargain hunters. They hear the price, $15,000. They get a discount or have a chance to get a discount of $35,000. Unbelievable. The work is worth $50,000. They will get it for $15,000. They don't have to think twice. Excited. Their heart is beating in their chest. They buy the work. They walk outside of the door with a smile on their face, happier than ever before. And the two brothers smile to each other. We have another one. Now, some people that are listening are going to say, well, hey, wait a minute, Dries, this is an amazing thing to do because the people who bought the work, they just walked outside of the gallery door happier than ever before, and the brothers made shitloads of money, so it's a win-win situation. What are you complaining about? I don't know, but I do think that this is a beautiful example of how the world is working at this very moment. This is literally everybody in the West, all of them. They are all being ripped off by the governments. The West is sinking. It's a Titanic ship that is sinking. And they are ripping everyone off. All of the people are walking outside of the gallery door being ripped off with a smile on their face. The government is printing millions and millions and millions and millions, inflation going through the roof. We know what happened. The Byzantium Empire, the Roman Empire, they all fell when inflation went through the roof. They all fell when they were printing massive amounts of money. And now we are doing the same thing. And what is happening with all of that money? Well, all of those people with all of that money are now buying products. And what is buying products? Buying products is companies selling products to those people. And what is companies? Companies is entities that are being owned by the rich. And so what is actually happening when money is being printed and inflation rises through the roof? The rich get richer and everybody in the West is being ripped off and laughing with a smile on their face, walking outside the gallery doors with a painting that is worth perhaps 1/5 of what they paid for. It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. Second story. Now this is a story that is a little bit less criminal in nature, but this is the Vollard effect. I called it the Vollard effect because this is a gallery owner in the 19th century, Ambroise Vollard. So let's call it the Vollard effect. So here's what he would do. People would walk into the gallery. They would all be excited because of beautiful Cézanne that he's showing the people. Amazing. Everybody's like, whoa, amazing skill, amazing artwork. And then after a while, after he sees that the potential buyer is really interested, they are ready to buy almost. He's like, okay, I have a phone call. He's pretending that he's getting some phone calls, some whatever. And he asks them like, yeah, okay, I will not have time now, but you can come back tomorrow. So they come back tomorrow. Or they come back the next day, and he is showing them another Cézanne, but this time a Cézanne of lesser quality. Why? Because the original Cézanne from the day before is sold, he doesn't have it anymore. And so now they're looking at this lesser quality Cézanne. The Cézanne they like less. And again, they are getting along, they're talking about it, the whole thing, and then he pretends that something is happening. He has some business or some meeting that he has to go into, whatever. So same thing, come back the next day, they come back the next day. Now he's showing them a work of even lesser quality, an average Cézanne, nothing special. And so now they are really being pissed off, you know, like they wanted this first Cézanne that was beautiful. Now they already have like this third rank Cézanne. It's nothing special anymore. But at the same time, they realize if we don't buy it now, what are we gonna get tomorrow? Perhaps there's nothing left anymore. And the scarcity pushes them into buying this Cézanne of lesser quality. Now in this Volare effect, this Volare strategy, Volare is obviously taking the best Cézanne and keeping it in order to do this strategy, but not just to do the strategy, for something else, something completely different. Before I explain why he's actually holding on to that Cézanne for the right moment, let me give you a gift of some sorts, a PDF that I made, because there are a lot of videos that I've talked about sales strategies for artists. We have now 300 videos on the channel or something. What are you going to do if you want to discover all the art sales strategies? What are you going to do? Going and watch tens of hours of video content? It's a little bit too much. So I made a PDF with all the sales strategies or the best sales strategies listed, and then you can just watch that file instead of going through all of that yourself. It's going to be much faster. Link in the description. It's free, of course. So let's talk about why Volare is actually holding on to the best piece. Because here's the thing. Many people believe that galleries, because they are shops, they are glorified shops, want to sell stuff, they are trying to sell as much art as possible. This is not true. They are not trying to sell as much art as possible. They are trying to plant art in the right spots. Gallerists are hunters and farmers. Let me explain. Good farmers are not selling their best seeds. They understand that they should plant those seeds to then harvest new crops in the future. And so good gallerists are doing the exact same thing with the best art. They are planting the best art and not selling the best art off very quickly. When it comes to selling art, the key is to make sure that the most influential museums, the most influential celebrities, the most influential collectors, the most influential people in the art world get the best pieces of art, because they will be influencing the marketplace. And the reality is that people don't buy art. Art buys particular people in order to make sure that then afterwards people buy art, if you get what I mean. So this is kind of the idea that you have to go for. The reality in the art world is that if Stephen Cohen, one of the famous collectors, buys an Agnes Martin number 4, entitled number 4, whatever painting, then suddenly Agnes Martin will rise up in value. Suddenly everybody will want to buy Agnes Martin. Why? Because people don't understand art. Art is way too complex to be bought by people who can't understand it. Nobody pays $1 million or $2 million for something they can't comprehend. And so what do you do if you can't comprehend something? Well, you imitate the best people in the marketplace. Let me tell you another strategy that galleries deploy to sell more. This is the surfer strategy, because good surfers, they don't create waves. They wait on the sea until a wave comes, and then they sense it. They sense it coming from miles away, and then when it hits, they ride it. And so here's what Henry Blaine, the gallery owner, founder of Hounjovention, does, or did. In 2007, he opens a gallery in Berlin. Now, Berlin doesn't have the best collectors. Berlin doesn't have the most amazing artists at that time. Berlin doesn't have a crazy amount of money. There are other places with more money. There's New York, there's London, there's a lot of other places where you can open a gallery. And so why is he choosing Berlin? He's choosing Berlin because Berlin had a vibrant, very hip art scene at that moment. This is early 2000s, and Berlin was kind of the hipster place to be at that time. And so that is why he's opening a gallery. He's opening a gallery so that he can pick up artists from the Berlin scene and then put them in his gallery in Zurich, in his gallery in London. And so good artists are also surfers. They sense when something is happening. They sense when a vibrant scene is developing, and then they position themselves in that scene as some kind of player so that they can pick it up, if that's the game that they want to play, of course. Now, looking back, it's easy to see that you had to be there in New York in the 40s or in the 60s, in London in the 70s, in Berlin in the 80s, in the 2000s. It's easy. Looking back, everything is easy. So the question becomes, well, what is the next wave? Which city has the next wave? Which city should I go to, move towards, do something in, have an exhibition in, meet people from that? Where's the place to go? How can I make this happen? Now, a lot of people will tell you that AI is the next city. A lot of people will tell you that AI is the big thing, that if you don't jump on AI right now, you will lose out on everything. You will lose out on all opportunities. AI will replace everybody. AI will replace all artworks. AI will replace everything in the whole goddamn world. Now, I don't actually believe this. If I'm using GPT, I see a loser bot. This bot can't do anything. It cannot write anything. If you ask it to write a chiasmus, it can't do that. It doesn't know anything. It's a very bad researcher. It's a very bad literary component. It's just not good. And the reality is that I'm not even sure if it will do what everybody promises it. Here's the thing. Who is promising GPT to go nuts? Those who own the AI companies. They could tell you the truth, that it is a database that you can access interactively with some kind of language model that is just nothing more than probability, predicting probability based on the internet. They could say that. Or they could say that they've invented something that is more powerful than all the nuclear weapons on the planet, that is going to result in people, human beings without employees making billions and billions of dollars, that we will see for the first time one employee businesses that make billions thanks to these LLM models, that there will be an AGI, an artificial general intelligence that will be rising out of this, that will replace all human beings, and you can have all of that at your disposal for $19.95. I mean, of course, they are going to do the second option. Of course, they are going to sell the second thing. So I don't actually believe that the next wave, like everybody is saying, is going to be AI. I don't believe that. I don't think that artists should be afraid of that. What I believe, the next wave that you have to jump on is... It's a very obvious one. This might be a little bit disappointing for some. I believe it's just social media. I believe it's social media. I believe it's a thing that everybody thinks it's already too late on. It's not too late. It's not too late to go on social media. Social media is a big wave, and it's obvious that it's a big wave, but it didn't hit yet. It didn't, what was the thing with the wave that it does? Like, it didn't broke yet. It didn't broke. The wave is not at its full peak yet. And the reality is that Google wasn't first. The whole search thing was already going on for 10 years before Google came along and owned everything. You don't have to be the first. Social media now is in its first decade. We're at year number 10 or something. And the biggest players haven't revealed themselves yet. The biggest players still have to come. Social media is not too late. This is the moment where the biggest victories in social media will be decided in the next 5 years. And so that is the wave that you have to hop onto. How many galleries do we have on YouTube so far? We have Contemporary Art Issue, whatever the name is. That's the only one. And it's not even a big gallery. This is a small, low-level gallery. And so it's not too late yet. This is the moment. This is the 2000s. On YouTube, but this is the 2000, or this is the 80s. The 80s of Berlin, the 70s of London, the 40s of New York, all of that is now happening on YouTube. And so what are you going to do? There are two things. Number one, go and buy the artist formula where I explain you everything that I know, my full blueprint, everything that I do on social media, on YouTube. You can just copy paste it and then have it at your disposal. Just copy paste it. Or the second option that I would recommend is completely free. 3-step option, a 3-step program. Step 1, grab your phone. Step 2, go to a painting that you made or a painting of your friend. You can be a gallerist. Step 3, record that painting. Step 4, it's a 4-step process, I lied. Step 4, go on YouTube and upload that recording of 15 seconds or 10 seconds or 20 seconds, then put some background music on it within the app and then publish it. Congratulations, you have now put out your board on the sea. You are ready to receive that big wave when it comes and ride it like a true surfer, ride it like a true gallerist, ride it like a true artist. Now there's one more thing for you to do. Understand all the possible art gallery secrets out there. I've made a video about it. Selling Secrets Art Galleries won't tell you the $5,000 rule. Watch it. Don't forget to grab your free PDF, link in the description. That's it. Get the hell out of here.